Impact Wrestling presents Against All Odds, live June 9th on Impact Plus and Fight.
It is time for our main event here on Impact Wrestling, a preview of the 8-4-1 match that goes down tomorrow night at Against All Odds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one first. He represents Moose Nation. He is Moose.
Get ready to hang 10 on Wednesday, June 21st. HDNet Movies is taking you to the beach. It's a throwback summer treat with how to stuff a wild bikini, bikini beach, beach blanket bingo, and more. Surf's up on Wednesday, June 21st, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with HDNet Movies Beach Bash.
Well, it's going to be no day at the beach for all the competitors in that 8-4-1 match. You know, this man here would love to get back to the Impact World Championship.
His tag team partner from Baltimore, Maryland, Rich Swann.
Now, there was a point in time that this former Impact World Champion, Rich Swann, was very close with Moose. They were tag team partners at one time, and then Moose betrayed Rich Swann like he's done so many here in Impact.
And he's very proud of that fact. A self-described scumbag is the wrestling god. But tonight, they will have to coexist once again, heading into Against All Odds.
And they'll have to coexist tomorrow night in Columbus, Ohio. How will they fare against Jonathan Gresham and Nick Aldis? We're going to find out next in our main event. Jonathan Gresham making his way to the ring for our main event, a preview of the first ever 8-4-1 match that'll go down tomorrow night at Against All Odds live in Columbus. A very unorthodox match. It's going to start as an 8-man tag. The winning team will immediately square off in a 4-way with one winner, and that man will challenge for the Impact World title at Slammiversary.
His tag team partner from Kingsland, England, Nick Aldis.
And the Impact World Championship is something this man knows very, very well. However, that 8-4-1 match is indeed a first time ever here in Impact, so that will be a very new thing for all the competitors involved in Against All Odds.
Make an impact on your performance and well-being with the best-selling Test Booster, Test X9 from Legacy Sports Nutrition. Go to LegacySubs.com and use the code IMPACT for 20% off and level up with Legacy.
What's interesting about this matchup here tonight, our main event on Impact on Access TV, is it takes this whole idea. We mentioned the match tomorrow will start as an 8-man tag, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. These teams here tonight in the main event make up half of those teams. So Rich and Moose will have to team again in the 8-4-1, as will Gresham and Aldis. So this is not a one-time thing where they have to coexist just for a night. They have to find some semblance of teamwork to carry over to Against All Odds before ultimately it will break down into every man for himself.
Some sportsmanship here between Rich Swann and Jonathan Gresham to get things started. Two former world champions in their own right. Beginning this matchup, the teams will begin tomorrow night at Against All Odds as such. Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham, Heath, who we saw victorious earlier on tonight against Champagne Singh, and Nick Aldis versus Moose, Speedball, Mike Bailey returning to Impact, plus Rich Swann and PCO on the other team. Oh, what a kick.
So much talent. But like I said, that extra added layer of trying to find that teamwork, with a group of people who ultimately, if you are successful in the early part of that matchup, you're ultimately going to fight all of your teammates to get to the number one contendership.
And in comes Nick Aldis, who earlier on tonight guaranteed that not only will he win the 8-4-1 match tomorrow night Against All Odds and become the number one contender, but that he is guaranteed he will become the new Impact World Champion come Slammiversary in July in Windsor.
Well, if he can make it through that gauntlet.
Whoa, he's going for the Kingsland Cloverleaf early.
And Rich Swann knew that very, very well.
Just that close. And now a tag made, Swann bringing in Moose.
As I was saying, Nick Aldis wants to earn his opportunity. If he can survive that war of attrition, if you will, that is that 8-4-1, he will have certainly done just that.
A lot of parallels, I would say, between Moose when he was Impact World Champion and when Nick Aldis was Impact World Champion a number of years ago here in this company. Obviously, Nick Aldis has changed his stripes, so to speak, and is trying to do things the right way this time around.
Meanwhile, if Moose continues to be the man I know Moose to be, he'll do whatever it takes. Doesn't care who he's got to hurt, who he's got to step over, who he's got to stab in the back to get it done.
Did that to Rich Swann just a few years ago.
I think he's done it to almost every partner he's probably ever had.
Big right hand there by Aldis. Moose did look dominant at times. And the six-way dance that went down at Under Siege. Now Aldis with a Fez press.
I mean, there's no taking away the fact that Moose is always a threat to the World Championship. And you know how much that means to him as well.
Now Aldis looking very sharp here, representing his team, who will gain an advantage before the 8-4-1 match and against all odds tomorrow night. And we are back here. This is our main event. Jonathan Gresham and Nick Aldis up against Moose and Rich Swann. Half of the field for the 8-4-1 match that'll go down tomorrow night live in Columbus, Ohio at Against All Odds.
Getting a little bit of a preview here of the teamwork that's going to be necessary for the early part of that 8-4-1 match. And so far, Gresham and Aldis have been doing pretty well here.
A tag made. Back into the matchup comes Jonathan Gresham trying to control Moose. These two had quite the showing as a part of the six-way dance at Under Siege that ultimately saw Alex Shelley become the #1 contender to the Impact World Champion. Steve Macklin, they'll battle for the world title tomorrow night at Against All Odds. However, the 8-4-1 match winner will challenge whomever comes out of Against All Odds as the Impact World Champion come Slammiversary in July in Windsor, Ontario.
Huge opportunity and a huge event for Impact Wrestling. So all the pressure is on everybody in this match and, of course, the remaining field for the 8-4-1.
And look at the power of Moose. Said he was done playing around. The left arm's in a lot of pain and forcibly tags in Rich Swann.
Yeah, you heard Moose say, get in there, barking orders. We'll see how well that goes over the rest of this match.
Splash, cover, Gresham kicks out.
And not only that, tomorrow night when they have to team again.
And we talked about it before the break. The teams will begin in the 8-4-1 matches. Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham, Heath, and Nick Aldis versus Moose, Speedball, Mike Bailey, plus Rich Swann and PCO. Tell me how in the world Bully Ray is going to fit into his team. How is Moose? He doesn't even get along with Rich Swann in this match. How's that going to work? And by the way, throw in the French-Canadian Frankenstein, who was bleeding all over the place at Under Siege.
There are so many X factors in this match. And clear here you see Rich Swann not liking the way Moose is doing business in this match.
Moose dropping Jonathan Gresham while the official's back was turned. Swann not okay with that. Moose forcibly tagging himself into the match.
But you do have to wonder at some point, God!
Wow!
Did you see the way Gresham was just torpedoed into that turnbuckle?
And now Moose takes a cheap shot at Aldis.
And this is one of those situations, if you're Rich Swann, this sucks, right? This is not the way you want to do business. But come tomorrow night, in the 8-man tag portion of the 8-4-1, if Moose starts pulling this, if you're Rich Swann and you still want to get to the World Championship matchup, you kind of have to deal with it as best you can. You can't just walk out on it. Your opportunity still hangs in the balance.
If you're able to win initially, then you can go to town in the four-way match. Let's not forget, in four-way matches, no countouts, no disqualifications, so things can get out of control.
So you're asking about all these kind of odd couple pairings, all these people in here who don't play well with others, shall we say. Well, there's going to have to be a lot of biting your tongue, so to speak, in the early parts of that matchup.
Moose not biting his tongue, telling Swann to get out. Wants to do things his way. Suplex to Gresham.
There's the power game from the wrestling god. Gresham wanting to get a tag to Nick Aldis, who Moose is now steering a hole through.
Oh, look at the power here on Moose.
Gresham here in a bad way. Whoa!
And continues to chirp at Aldis and instigating things. The official going after Aldis, trying to keep him out of the ring. And now look at Moose tagging and Swann, but the official's dealing with Aldis. There's no legal tag.
Well, and then also Moose, what the distracted official was maybe trying to see if Swann would take a shot. But Swann refusing, saying no, he doesn't want to do it like that.
Well, I'm doing my damn self.
Swann doing the right thing.
And Moose saying he'll do it himself. But like I said, come tomorrow night. Swann can't walk away. He's going to have to deal with it.
Gresham, hold on. Looked like Gresham had found a way out.
For a second, maybe, but able to. Whoa!
Oh, wait a minute. Gresham popped free and makes a tag to Aldis.
That was fantastic, using the victory roll to gain the momentum, get the tag, and now it's Aldis trying to turn things up here on Moose.
Aldis on the move and a clothesline. Two heavyweights going at it here in our main event.
Aldis, the explosive power here from the national treasure.
Aldis full head of steam, blocked with the boot there by Moose.
Oh,
Michinoku driver.
Takes a lot of strength to take a man the size of Moose off his feet like that, but Aldis doing it with ease.
Going back up to the top turnbuckle. Hits the elbow, cover. Oh, and a kick out by Moose. One more look at this. Kenny King felt this when Aldis got his win against him at Under Siege. And now Moose is still in play here in this matchup.
Wait.
Trying to
Cover
set up
here.
with a clover leaf. Moose nearly caught Aldis. Oh, both men go down hard.
Both guys had the same idea. Now laid out center of the ring. They're going to be looking to tag out in this one. Get the fresh man in.
Tag. Gresham to meet Swann. And now Swann gets a piece of Aldis. Oh, wait a minute. Backslide right into the backslide. Gresham nearly had him.
Great wherewithal from the octopus there. Does it again. Rolling up Swann here.
Look at
Brings it
Gresham.
back.
Dazzling. Oh, nearly had Swann again.
He's so fluid, so
Oh.
precise, but Swann nails the kick.
Gresham tried to block it. Swann with the cutter. Cover.
Is this it?
Oh, and a kick out by the foundation.
Almost heading into against all odds with the momentum in his favor, which could be huge, and there it is.
And look at this. Swann could have been setting up for the Phoenix Splash.
Get the hell out.
The dissension continues between Swann and Moose, but there's Gresham to take advantage.
Power bomb. Gresham didn't see the tag. Moose is legal. Gresham thought Swann was legal.
Gresham didn't see the tag. He's very well aware now, though.
Oh, heavy power bomb by Moose. Moose gets the win for his team.
Here are your winners, Rich Swann and Moose.
And Tom, that's what I was talking about. If something like that happens tomorrow, it may piss Rick Swann off like he is right now. But that's what he needs to get done. Because if that happens, now then they can get into the fatal four-way and can move on in the 8-4-1.
Oh,
God!
and Moose just clobbered Gresham, and Swann has had enough. Swann going after Moose in a big
Oh, he's
move.
breaking down here. Ahead of against all odds. Aldis back in the fray.
Oh, and going to the eyes. Moose going to the eyes. By any means necessary for the wrestling god. What others, Heath?
Heath, another factor in the 8-4-1 tomorrow. Not letting it go down like this.
Heath, who got a win in singles competition earlier tonight. Now Moose sent outside.
Whoa!
Oh, some disagreement between Heath and Aldis. We're going to be tag team partners tomorrow night.
But they're not right now. It's breaking down out here in front of us.
There's an absolute brawl here at ringside between these players in the 8-4-1 match against all odds.
Meanwhile, it's Swann up in the ring. Looking to take off, but look out!
Oh,
Come on! Damn
Bully
it!
Ray! Bully Ray getting involved.
Bully Ray striking from behind.
The man who claims he will humiliate this company and become a 3-time Impact World Champion at Slammiversary if he can win tomorrow
But look out! PCO, even after under siege, still alive!
PCO and Bully Ray going out in the impact zone.
Going toe-to-toe here, center of the ring.
PCO delivering bombs to Bully Ray.
Oh, he's not done yet. PCO taking off!
Oh, and Perfect Creation 1 wipes out the bodies.
And just like that, Perfect Creation 1 stands tall ahead of Against All Odds.
It will be perfect chaos tomorrow night in the 8-4-1 match. Who will be the winner and move on to Slammiversary to challenge for the Impact World title? We'll find out tomorrow night live in Columbus, Ohio.